We still have the flash flood warning for St. Mary's County until 2:15. That's not really going to change. And we also have a little bit of shower activity developing now along I-95. Nothing crazy, but there's a little bit there. So in terms of where's everything going, midnight, about 10 minutes from now, FutureCast has all the heavy activity over across the bay, which I think makes sense. I mean, the storm itself will be right about here by then. It's going to pass just to the north of Ocean City, probably north of Ocean City and just southeast of Georgetown, but also north of Salisbury. Remember, the highest winds are always on that southerly or right side of the track. So that's midnight, and then, by 2 a.m., it still does hang on, and I'm not so sure I disagree with this. Some big bands across much of Delaware. Probably a good idea. And now the storm's offshore. It's kind of in the Atlantic and the Delaware Bay, really, headed toward the coast of New Jersey. That's at 2 a.m. By 4 o'clock, we're in good shape here. Our ocean resorts are essentially fine. We've got a couple light showers, but all the real heavy activity will be hammering New Jersey. In fact, the metro will be under partly cloudy skies. That said, we'll probably issue a yellow weather alert for the possibility of some strong storms tomorrow afternoon. I think we're okay during the day, but we'll monitor that for a possible yellow weather alert in the evening hours. I think for the most part your Friday night plans will be safe, but we're gonna monitor that. All right, so rainfall really has Delaware and New Jersey as kind of the bullseye, and parts of Maryland on the east side of the eastern shore. So that's 1 to 3 inches pretty much across the board between now and tomorrow morning, which I agree with. You saw the numbers change a little bit. That was just the thunderstorms tomorrow. In terms of Elsa, that's it. So that's all the rainfall. I do want to show a couple of things here. Let's just talk about winds. Now, this is an observation. This is not a forecast. So we've got winds. Tropical storm strength winds, 39, 40, Patuxent River, 32, Ocean City. Not much up in Annapolis. So even though the bulletin said that tropical storm force winds extend 160 miles from the center, I don't see that. I think it's a little tighter circulation than that. So winds 30 miles per hour at Chincoteague, 40 at Patuxent River. And again, that is an observation. That is not a forecast. Let's go back to the graphic as to just where this is. 11 o'clock, it was about 50 miles north-northwest of Norfolk. And I said this on the air, the pressure keeps falling. It's fallen from 10,006 to 10,004 to 10,002, or 1,002 rather, consecutively from the 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 11 o'clock advisory. Kind of unusual for a storm that's kind of inland. But it's a tight little circulation. There's no real dry air. It's going to suck in and hurt it, and that's why it's been able to keep its shape, so to speak. Let's just see here. Okay, hang on a second. I'm going to get to your questions now. Okay. Now, in the morning, if you get up and you got some damage, you can send us pics. Just tag us, WSA9 Weather. If you have our app, I got to say, the app's pretty cool. You take the app, you download it, you can track the storms with us. You'll get notifications if you allow them. And bottom right, there's a little thing called Near Me. You can just take a picture, and you can send it to the station very, very quickly and very, very easily. So I'm looking for questions. I don't see any questions right now. I will continue. So this is midnight. So essentially it's over the bay, which is pretty much, I think, where it is now. I think it's back over the bay right now. 2 o'clock, it's now just north of Ocean City. So it's going to move pretty quickly between, you know, I think the storm is closer to here right now at midnight to here. It's going to, Ocean City, you're going to get some wind, no doubt about that. You'll get some wind too in Rehoboth. Even Bethany will get some pretty good winds. It's almost going over top of Bethany. And then I guess the good news, you know, by 4 o'clock it's offshore. Not great news for New Jersey, but good news for us. And then by the time we get to say 6 o'clock in the morning, now it's very far offshore, but it's headed toward Montauk and eventually toward Boston and Nantucket. And everybody's under a tropical storm warning across the board. In fact, we still are in southern Maryland. They've not canceled that yet. They probably will the next advisory. They'll probably trim them, but right now we're still under a tropical storm warning. And then, you know, by noon, it's between Boston and Nantucket. And that's going to spell some pretty big winds here. I think Nantucket might see winds of 60, 65. There'll be some power outages there, no doubt. Again, here are the wind speeds, observations, 40 mile per hour wind. That's a gust. Patuxent River, sustained 24. The gust is in this color right here, and the white is the sustained. Gust sustained at 15 at National, 13 Andrews. So we're seeing some winds from this now. 24 mile per hour wind gust, Georgetown. It's just changed now, 22. This is a 22 mile per hour wind gust in Atlantic City. Still 40 in Patuxent River. And I think the storm itself is right about here in the bay. I think it's a little ahead of the track. Just a little bit. It's on track. A little bit ahead of it, I think, in terms of forward progression. So 38 mile per hour wind gust, Ocean City, 30 Chincoteague, 40 still in Patuxent River. So those, I think 39 to 74 are tropical storm force winds. So there you go. So the tropical storm warning did indeed verify. So here's the big picture. And here is the radar of the past 2 hours. So you can see this intense band sort of fall apart a little bit, and now all the red and the orange is now over toward the bay. We just have light activity, light showers into southern Maryland. So your severe weather is over in southern Maryland. Your severe weather is not over in the Delmarva. There could still be some tornadoes, and there'll be more heavy bands of rain, especially through southern Delaware and parts of eastern Maryland, rather, on the eastern shore of the bay. So keep that in mind. When is Calvert done with the storm, Paul? I think Calvert's done with the storm right now, except you're going to have some light rain for a while. I think the heavy activity is gone. Again, activity kind of stops at 95. So we'll zoom in. So, you know, here we are, and, you know, the heavy activity essentially is just about to be over the water. The real intense activity is over the water moving across the eastern shore. So I think you're pretty much done, Paula. I really do. Let's see, Lothian, Maryland, Anne Arundel County, thank you for the forecast. You welcome, Robin. Let's kind of scoot up to, daggone it. Let's scoot up to Annapolis. You guys are in pretty good shape now. You didn't really have much going on. And it was never going to be an Annapolis storm anyway. So when it'll be clear in Ocean City, Candy, probably not till about 2 o'clock, maybe 1:30. Okay, so now we got tornado warnings all over the place. No surprise here. We've got one in Wacomico. We've got one in Sussex until midnight. Wacomico and Worcester until 12:15. And this, to me, makes more sense. Well, simply because we were, let me go back here. We were on the, let's just go ahead and save this one. Because this was on the southern part of the track. So it does kind of make sense that this is where it is. And this is not surprising. We'll probably see a bunch of fire up here. So we have this one here. Okay, this is just to the southwest of Ocean City, and this is until 12:15. And then we have this one here. Looks like we have a new one. This one here goes until 12:30 for Sussex County. Yeah, there's 2 here. So there's 1 till 12:30 for Sussex, and 1 till 12. And so here's the deal here. Hang on a second. More than likely, they're moving north or northwest. Let's look at this one first. This is the one that lasts until 12:30. It's moving northwest at 30. So until the bands begin to pull away, these individual cells are going to move off to the north and the west, which I know is counterintuitive, but it's going to go this way. If you drive to the beach, you might know some of these towns. I mean, I know Route 9. There's Milton. There's Ellendale. I know that town. Georgetown. This is where the tornado warning is right now until 12:30. Not far from Rehoboth. The good news is they're moving away from Rehoboth, but the bad news is there's still going to be some more storms. This is the one down in, well, this one goes till 12:15. Where's the other one? The other one go away? The other one's down here. So one's just west of Ocean City till 12:15, and then one is around Rehoboth Beach until 12:30. So these are the 2 tornado warnings at this hour. There they are right there. So this is down around Route 9, and this is just to the west of Rehoboth. But again, the storms are moving off to the north and west, which is, again, weird, but they're moving this way, okay? Even though the whole bands are going to move this way eventually. Eventually, it will pull itself away back out to sea, but it's going to take a while to do that. Oh, hi, Alicia. You live in South Carolina now. Okay, how you doing? I guess you had your fun with the storm earlier, and now it's our turn. I don't see any more questions here. We did the Calvert question, the Ocean City question. We'll go back across our side of the bay, and this is the flash flood warning until 2:15. Okay. And the good news is the heavy rains began to pull away. So that should improve. But, we saw folks at 11 o'clock on air driving through standing water. I don't know why they do that. I wish just don't do that. I mean, and we mentioned this. I mean, even if it's like not that deep and doesn't appear to be running that fast, when it's nighttime, you really can't tell. And B, what if the road's washed out beneath it and it's, 2 feet deep? Then you got a problem. So it looks to me, if we put this into motion here, we can kind of pick, looks like the storm, looks like the area, what's left of Elsa is probably right in here. And as it moves northeastward over toward Ocean City, these bands will continue to rotate around counterclockwise, but they'll also begin to be pulled back to the ocean. They'll follow the storm eventually. Now, they'll wrap around it, but they'll follow it again. So what's kind of crazy is these bands here could hit the same areas twice. So this could go back through Route 9 and Millwood, and this could too. This could come and swing back around as well. Oh, you're available. Okay, great. Sure, Jan, no problem. I'm glad you have some family here in Hagerstown. Hagerstown, by the way, is fine. No worries there. May have some big storms tomorrow. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. In the wake of the storm, we still see some flash flood warnings down near Richmond, again in southern Maryland. And then we see the 2 tornado warnings across the in the Delmarva. So again, this one is right around Newark and Pittsville, but this is moving toward Pittsville across 50. So this actually may move this way. And then this storm also, which is not too far from Rehoboth, around Milton, is also moving northwest. Yes, 85% of all tornadoes move southwest to northeast. This is an exception because of the tropical storm. If it were a front or something like that, then it would be moving that way, but it's not. That's why it's moving a little differently with the circulation, around the circulation of this pretty intense tropical storm, considering it's over land. and has been over land for some time. So we'll zoom back out. Pretty good bands here. Let's go ahead and loop this for a couple hours. Boom. I got another one now. Oh boy, this includes Rehoboth Beach. Yep. That tornado warning includes Rehoboth Beach. Let's see where this one is. 12:30. It's radar indicated rotation. This could go toward Lewis, Henlopen Acres, Cape Henlopen State Park, and Dewey Beach. So that's, if you know the shore at all, that's all of those towns I just riddled off there's Lewis right there, and there's Rehoboth, and in Rehoboth is Cape Henlopen Acres. So take cover if you're, for some reason, listening to us. Sussex around Milton, you should take cover if you're in Milton. So this is kind of what we expected. There's a lot of tornado warnings on the Delmarva. And your watch, you're still under the watch. It goes until 2 o'clock. We seem to have another one here. Yes, we have this one here. This is till 12:15. Then we have another one, 12:30. So that tells me that this storm is holding together and still pushing off to the north and the west. These two are 12:30. And they're probably little tiny EF0s or EF1s, but they can do some damage. And you couple that with the broader circulation of Elsa, and you could get winds 50, 60, 70 miles an hour. And that will cause some damage. There's just no way around that. Oh, you're in Corolla and lucked out. Yes, you are, Kelly. Good for you. Can you go to wind velocity and rotation to warned areas? Steve, yes. Hang on 1 second. Stand by, please. Bam. Stand by. Not many times we get requests for rotation, for velocity. Stand by. Let me go to a different show. Hang on. Okay, so here we are. Boom, 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 boom. And what I may have to do is switch radars here. So hang on 1 second. It's not going to work with Sterling, obviously. Let's do that in this case. All right, so we don't see a lot here. Red's away, green's toward. I'm using Dover radar. 15. Oh, that's right, I can't do it within the warning area. 26. Nothing crazy here, Steve. Don't see anything troubling, except for the fact there's 2 tornado warnings. We'll see if they continue these or if they drop them. But right now, not crazy concerned about rotation. I'm concerned about straight winds, though. So this is the tornado watch. So it continues now across the bay, which makes sense. Okay. What are we saying here? She thinks I'm not saying moving in the lower eastern shore. Western Maryland, what the snow is impractical, but yeah, well, I like the snow, so I'd stay in Western Maryland. But tropical storms are no joke, but they're fun. Nor'easters are no joke too. I mean, nor'easter could do just as much damage because it's going to sit there for 24 hours. So there's the radar, and I think we can kind of clearly see the storms right about here. Okay. We will. Whoops. Nothing heavy in our area. It's all across the bay. It really is, and these are heavy bands pushing through right now. So let's go back here. We have the warnings on. They've trimmed this a little bit in Ocean City, but now they actually have one for Ocean City proper until 12:30. So Ocean City and Rehoboth Beach are under tornado warnings at this hour. That's kind of crazy. I'm not that surprised, but it's still kind of crazy when you expect it. Okay, boom pow, boom pow. Oh, you're in Milton, huh, Tyler? Yikes. Okay. Well, let's go back into Milton and see. No, I think you're okay. Well, I think you're technically out of the. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong one. Hang on. No, you're okay. Well, you're still under the warning technically. Depending on where you are in Milton. If you're west of Milton, I would take cover. Especially if you're up near Reynolds Mill, I would take cover. Okay. For another 10 minutes or so. It's Doppler indicated. They're probably little tiny spinners on these bands. They don't probably have a tremendous amount of wind, but they can still, blow a branch around or blow something through a glass window. So it's still, you have to take it seriously. So Milton's still under the tornado warning for the time being. But looking at the radar, I think you're more danger if you're out north of Milton, up toward Reynolds Mill. Okay, you're in the actual town. Good. Okay. I think you're okay. Probably have some more heavy rain, but I think you're okay. Yeah. This is cool. People are out in the Eastern Shore. Here's Lewis, Delaware. You're under the warning. Looks to me like it's pretty interesting right where you are. Let's see here. We can take a couple of things off here. That kind of helps you get an idea where the warnings are. So that's one warning until 12:30. Includes Rehoboth. And looks like almost North Bethany, not quite, but includes Lewis. And then this is the one until 1. This is a new one now, 1 o'clock. It's a new one out toward Laurel and Route 9 because you're coming out of Millsboro on 113. And then these are the two in Pittsville till 12:30 and till 12:15 in Wacomico and Worcester counties. And then this is the one for Ocean City until 12:30 as well. I'm at Castaways in Berlin. Berlin. Where is Berlin? It's around here somewhere. There's Seaford. Tell me where Berlin is. I can't remember. There's Milton, Millsboro. I think it's right in here somewhere, but I can't find it for some reason. There's 50. Tell me where it is. Top of the viewers. Usually a typical tornado shows up on red, on right, green on left, and a real tight. Well, Steve, remember now I'm using different radars. Yes, that's true. You'll see it kind of come together more, and that looked to me like more just kind of like a straight line wind, except going southeast to northwest. But also I got a different radar picked, so it's not what you think if we were looking at radar from Dulles, for example. Oh, Berlin's outside of Ocean City. Okay, thank you. I'm an idiot. Oh, there it is. Well, technically, you're not in it. The good news, you're not in a tornado warning. The bad news, you're in between them. So I would, I'd take cover. Just get away from windows. Okay. I think that's the best thing. Lexington Park, okay. Yes, it is. Lexington Park is fine. You have some leftover rain. I'll put the radar back on here. But you're essentially okay. Yes. That's fine. You're fine. Okay, you're welcome, Tyler. No problem. Okay, Milton, no problem. I mean, let's go back to the, this is kind of crazy. They got, I mean, they are lighting them up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one looks pretty intense. I think they're more like little tiny, I won't get technical here, but they spin up in a squall line, and they're not very strong. But you know, they tick enough boxes to kick off the tornado warning, and there's some rotation to them, but they're just generally EF zeros, EF ones. They're usually well below 100 miles an hour, usually below like 60. So, but take them seriously. I mean, take cover. If you're in the area, I mean, take cover. No doubt about that. Okay. Karen. Well, Karen, you're in Berlin. Should I leave my camper and take cover in a bathhouse? Ooh, that's a tough question. No, I think you're okay for now. You can stay where you are. My only concern for you is if it then exits, but no, it's north of you. You're okay. You're okay for now, Karen. Good question, though. Hey, I'll say this: if the rain picks up later tonight, maybe just duck in the bathhouse. But I think you're going to be okay. I don't see any real problems at this point. No. So we got the one in Rehoboth till 12:30, Sussex till 1, Worcester, including Ocean City, till 12:30, Wacomico till 12:30. We won't be driving to the beach tonight, that's for sure. So we'll widen this out a little bit. We will go ahead and let's put on this for the sake of argument. And let's just loop this a little bit. Yeah. So these bands are going to move away here. It's going to pull this band is going to come back around though, and could hit between Ocean City and Rehoboth again. The storm itself looks right about here now. Let's go back and see if we can. I'm sure that the 12 o'clock data is in by now. Let's see the wind gusts. These are actual. Whoa, look at that. Yeah, look at that. Wow. Recorded wind gusts 61 Ocean City, 28 Patuxent River. That makes sense because that storm is right there, and just to the right of the storm is going to be your highest wind gust. The northeast quadrant is always your highest wind gust. Wow, that is impressive. And that is a actual wind speed that is recorded at midnight. We can see if let's just see a couple of things here. Well, let's see. They got to be in here somewhere, don't they? Okay, stand by. We'll see if there's any storm reports associated with that wind gust there in Ocean City. Let's see what we got here. So we've got some of the stuff you're going to see here happen, this afternoon. It happened 2 o'clock. Woodbridge had a 47-mile-per-hour wind gust. That's from a thunderstorm. Those are the earlier thunderstorms we had. Let's see what we got down here. Wind gust of 40, 39, Piney Point. 39, 45, Grips Point Lookout, 41. So there's nothing right now. It's too soon to get some of if there's any damage over here. But that's 61 mile per hour wind gusts. Ocean City's pretty impressive, I got to say. Okay, so yeah, well, Candy, you just recorded a wind gust of 61 miles per hour, so that makes sense. That makes sense. We'll come back to that and see if they report anything over there. But let's go back for the time being in here. So there's our flood warning until 2:15. But notice how the heavy bands have now moved northward, and then they switch and they come back and they move back to the east. So we're in pretty good shape in southern Maryland, except for that warning area. But over here, it is a hot mess, man. We got 3 tornado warnings, still one in Rehoboth till 12:30, and one in Worcester till 12:30. They can't. They trimmed that a little bit, and then another one in Sussex until 1 o'clock. So, but Candy, those winds were. Yes, Megan, you're right. You're right. Candy was under a tornado warning, but that was a straight wind from the tropical storm. That was not a tornado wind, because the storm itself is very close to you right now. The remnants of Elsa, it's very, very close to you. So there's the whole band. Kind of loop this a little bit. You can sort of see the bands moving north and then west. And then you see the last couple of frames here, you'll see them pull away from southern Maryland. See them pull right away like that. So they began to move away. Again, the good news is this is a fast mover. It's going to get out of here fairly quickly. So that's good. Otherwise, we'd have really more flooding problems. I think we're going to see some more flash flood warnings on the eastern shore from these bands of rain. The storm itself is moving about 21 miles an hour. Megan, Elsa. That was the, I believe that was the last advisory, 21. 25 miles an hour, yeah. So 2 o'clock. See, so it's ahead of schedule right now because the storm itself, I think, is well. I'll show you. I mean, okay. So 2 o'clock, Ocean City. I think it's right about here right now, and it's only 12:22. That's one of the reasons it stayed together, because there's no dry air to bring into the system. It's got a tight little circulation, and it's moving fast. If it stalls, the storm can only stay together if it's on the open waters. So this is, move quickly, probably moving a little faster than forecast, really. By 4 a.m., should be off well past Cape May, off the Jersey shore. And then it becomes a problem for our friends to the north, up near Montauk, and then it moves in between Boston and Nantucket around noon. So, all right, Candy. I agree with you, Candy. I like the weather there too in Poolesville. I think I'm going to wrap this up. I don't see any new questions. I want to thank everybody for hanging with us, though. That's pretty cool. We can go over where the tornado warnings are one more time. I think you're okay, by the way. Karen, in your camper, I think you're all right. So we had the flood warning, and this is because of those storms we had earlier for St. Mary's County to 2:15. But notice all the heavy rain is now offshore across the bay. And we go across the bay, and we've got all kinds of problems. We've got a tornado warning in Ocean City and Worcester County till 12:30. We've got one in Pittsville extending across the line into Maryland till 1 a.m. This is a newer issuance. This is one in Rehoboth Beach is now canceled, but now they have this one, or maybe it expired. Now they have this one in Sussex, northwest of Rehoboth until 12:30. So the one in, how long does the one in Ocean City go until? 12:30, okay. I think you're pretty much, in Ocean City, you're fine now, except for the fact you're going to get winds from Elsa, okay? So your winds you see now will be from Elsa itself, okay? All right, everybody, that was fun. I'm glad it wasn't too bad in the immediate metro. The storm progressed about as we thought. I was not surprised for a big tornadic outbreak in the Delmarva at all. And we'll see how many of these are confirmed. I think they're just little tiny EF0 spinners on a band of storms and rain from a tropical system. We get them also on cold fronts, so they'll kind of develop and just spin up within the line of storms. All right. I think we're okay. Karen, I think we are. I mean, I think you are. Yeah. I think you're okay where you are. I think you're fine. Yeah, that's funny, Megan. Yeah, very funny. All right, everybody, have a good night, and we'll talk tomorrow. We'll track a few storms tomorrow. We may have to issue a yellow weather alert for tomorrow. We'll cross that bridge tomorrow. Well, it's already tomorrow. We'll cross that bridge later today. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.